Every morning, Larry shows up on the cobblestone path winding through our neighborhood, thin frame, steady steps, and always wearing that same old fabric hat. He once told me, "This hat has seen more seasons of sunlight than most people can name." I often catch him pausing under a tree, lifting his face toward the sky as the first light filters through the leaves, his eyes gently closed as if whispering something to the universe. One morning, I asked what he thinks about during those quiet moments. He smiled slowly. "I begin each day with sunlight and a thank you, not because life is free of pain, but because I'm still here, to feel the wind brush my skin, the sun kiss my cheek, and to witness life quietly continuing, as soft as a breath." Larry lives simply, but every meal he prepares is like a ritual of care for something sacred. He never rushes through eating, and he steers clear of prepackaged snacks. Each dish is the fruit of early mornings spent hunched over his small backyard garden, pulling weeds, watering roots, and plucking dew-kissed leaves. "Food isn't just to fill the stomach," he says. "It's how we treat our body." One afternoon, when I dropped by, he served a salad made from kale, cherry tomatoes, and cold-pressed olive oil. He looked at me, calm and unwavering. "There's no pill that can cure what a healthy meal can prevent. Each meal is a choice to live one more day and live it well." At 74, Larry doesn't go to fancy gyms, nor does he boast about his fitness. But each morning, in the soft sunlight that spills onto his porch, he rolls out a faded yoga mat on the old wooden floor and begins a quiet series of movements. Slow, deliberate, in tune with his breath. His body is no longer limber like it once was, but every motion is a testament to patience and self-respect. I once asked why he keeps up the practice so diligently. He smiled, as gently as he moved. "Not to stay in shape, and not to feel young again. I do it so I can bend down and tie my shoes without wincing from back pain. Health doesn't need to be loud, it just needs to be enough for us to live fully." By the window stands an old armchair where Larry spends hours reading, anything from classic literature to books on biology. At 68, he taught himself how to play the ukulele. "Each note," he said, "reminds me my brain still has places left to explore." Every afternoon, he devotes 15 minutes to crossword puzzles as if it were a sacred ritual to keep his mind sharp. I once joked, "How do you remember all 8 of your grandkids' names?" He laughed and tapped his forehead. "If we stop learning, our brain retires with us. I keep it busy so it doesn't have time to grow old." To Larry, age is just a number. Clarity of mind is a choice, nurtured daily with curiosity and a love for life. Larry often says that a good night's sleep doesn't begin with a soft pillow, but with a peaceful mind. Before bed, he meditates in silence, the dim lamp casting a calm glow over his weathered but serene face. Then he opens an old notebook and writes a few lines, sometimes a note of gratitude, sometimes just a reflection of the day's feelings. "I've learned how to get enough sleep," he says, "but more importantly, I've learned how to let go of what I can't control, like dusting off the soul before stepping into a dream." To him, each night isn't an ending, it's a beginning. And in that quiet, I've come to see that sleep too is part of the art of living, gentle, slow, and forgiving. Every weekend, rain or shine, Larry is at the corner cafe by 9 a.m., meeting the same 3 friends he shared that table with for over 2 decades. They don't talk about grand things, just share small stories, a few laughs, the kind that only old friends can truly understand. Each evening, he calls his daughter, even if just to ask, "What did you eat today?" I once asked why he kept such rituals. He looked out toward the setting sun dripping over the rooftops and said, "Loneliness is the quietest killer. You don't hear it coming until your heart starts to grow cold, one small piece at a time." Staying in touch for him isn't a duty, it's a way to keep his heart warm. Larry often leaves banana bread or oatmeal cookies at the doorsteps of neighbors who live alone, along with a little handwritten note, "Wishing you a peaceful day." He never waits for thanks, never speaks much about what he does. One day, I asked why he spends time on strangers. He just smiled, eyes glinting behind thick glasses. "I don't live just to survive. I live to give thanks." For him, every act of kindness is a way to show gratitude to life, not because it has always been gentle, but because he still has the chance to do something good. Each kind act, he told me, is medicine for the heart. The more I give, the more alive I feel. When his doctor told him he was in a pre-diabetic stage, Larry didn't panic, didn't curse his luck. He simply walked out of the clinic and the next morning began jogging in the park. Slowly, briefly, but with the steady rhythm of someone learning how to live again. He started cooking all his meals, cut sugar from his coffee, and read every label before buying anything. I used to think my body betrayed me with age, he told me on a breezy afternoon, but really, it was just quietly crying for help. Illness, to him, wasn't a sentence. It was a gentle reminder that life could still be beautiful if we chose to listen. It taught me to love this body, he said, like an old friend I'd forgotten to care for. Larry always has something to look forward to. This week, it's a short trip to the mountains where he once took his wife on picnics. Next week, it's a watercolor class he signed up for at the community center. I once saw him circle a date on his calendar in red. Family gathering. My youngest son is coming home. When I asked why he constantly made plans, he looked up, eyes glowing with a light untouched by age. Hope is the lantern that pulls me out of the shadows of growing old. As long as I have something to look forward to, I'm not just passing the days, I'm living them. For him, plans aren't chores. They're small threads keeping the soul reaching forward. I used to fear old age like one fears the dark, where dreams dim, health fades, and meaning slips away. Then I met Larry. At 74, he doesn't try to be young again, nor does he chase what's out of reach. He lives slowly, deliberately, and with honesty. After 50, he told me, you stop trying to please everyone. What's left are the things that truly matter. For him, that means a nourishing meal, a phone call to his daughter, a quiet afternoon among the trees, and a peaceful heart. Larry doesn't fear aging. He welcomes it like an old friend, arriving just in time to remind us to live true, live deep, and live gently. Because of him, I no longer fear the darkness. I've learned to light a fire from within.